E for eMoneyWizard.com and MarketWizard.com. A reminder, use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. Well, I said I thought that we could close the gap, seeing as we had been able to hold that middle 67, yesterday's high, got abandoned, and we said we're going to use that 75 high as our resistance. We had two closes yesterday, the 50.25 and the 53.75. So anybody that's into that 55 to 52 zone should be paid for sure. This is a great trade. And we have undermined these one at a time squeeze pivots. So traders today underwater if they bought and held on to it for another day of gains. And this is one of the reasons why I find that you don't have to play at night. A lot of times you'll get those runs, but you'll get a contra to it. And today was time. Potential take out this 49 and test for 48s. Just to knock out the stops. Anybody that is into that 55, 52 should be paid for sure. And we obviously had the right idea. Make sure you are paid today by that 78.25 to 80.5. And my suggestion, next target, 45. So we're going to use this 48, make sure stops are down. Let me see, timing. I think this idea is to run a few stops. 456 trade is at the 45s. All you can do is manage at this point. If you're coming south side. And managing any position that you have or swing short, I think probably you'll want to make sure you're paid coming into 45. We're looking at 42 to 45 as our next idea of support. So originally the idea was get back into that mid 50s if we can, and then good fortune below. And then once you start to approach the overnight lows, and you get the idea, they're going to try to kick out the stops. I've got yesterday's middle 45.25 to 45.75. So we're going to reference that area as a support target. Shorts would love to knock that out and test that, but I think you're at the point now, time and price need to be careful here. And we're going to use, obviously, 65 as our key resistance for now. And bounces, you should be able to hit one time. Reminder, we really had gotten ahead of ourselves. We couldn't break above. Then this green line starts to push. I've got the 32 area as the rain line on the 5. Certainly not looking at that yet. I think you've got to get by the 45 to 42. So make sure you're paid if you're got the gap trade. And we can see into yesterday's range just how important it is for this late afternoon area to hold. And this is our 30-minute chart. We got trapped by the red line. Green line still not pushing. And the pivot point I've got right in this 50 area. Now, if you want to go back and look at our 15, you can see how egregious this has been and how we pulled up from here. May want to look at a 5 or a 10. Here's our 10. We're going to use this for now, because theoretically we should be at a profit-taking area. And the half gap, 63s, that area is going to be, we're going to consider that 63 to 65 resistance for now. First decent day the shorts have had in a while. Predictive model worked very well. Thank you very much. So we're back to this box now. And longs have got to get up above the 58s to get it back into that high box. So we're going to use this 67 and a quarter. That's key idea now. Got to. You have no other choice. Say we want to monitor that today. $48, $45 aggressive support for profit taking. Tunnel through time. We've come back into that 48 test. We looked at this chart earlier just to knock out the overnight low. Boys love to do that. You approach it. You don't think crash through it as much as you think. Just knock them out, just to be a pain. All right, we've got a lucky educated guess this morning that 80 and a half to 78 and a quarter resistance. Got 3 thrusts. Here's our gap close. And I think for now the low may be in. I think we need another profit taking bounce. Did not get a big one before. I thought we'd get a little bit bigger bounce earlier. So generals definitely wanted to come back and close the gap today. So thrust 1, thrust 2, thrust 3. And this is a good way to see that next support from the previous day. When you put 2 charts on side by side, then you can see it. So, oh yeah, there it is. All right, it's been a good morning. If you have risk capital you'd like to deploy, and you don't always have to just turn around and go the other way, but if you've had a good morning, then you've kind of earned the right to try a contra. Or you just stay sidelines and you say, all right, I'm going to try one more bounce and see if we can't get a little more. But risk and reward, now you do not have the benefit of traders looking for the gap fill for the short side. So try to become a little bit conservative here. And remember, you don't need to be in the market all day long.